Well, we're getting flirty. Jesus.
Have we been drinking again? I feel like we've been drinking.
I've been drinking, but he's getting flirty. I don't know what the fuck's going on. Anyway. Action boy now. Hello, welcome to episode 39 of the podcast. This is a podcast about movies. In case you are new here, welcome to 39, the greatest episode.
Yes, it is always like this if you've just joined us.
Yeah.
39 of what? You haven't said the title of the podcast yet.
39 of Unusual Suspects, the greatest episode of all time.
Oof,
welcome.
Don't do that.
Just have a seat. Have a fucking seat. You're in for a fucking ride because at the moment, Andy doesn't look like he wants to do the fucking podcast and he's just watched Mighty Morphin Power Rangers looking like the Green Ranger in disguise. And yeah, it could be a good one. He said to me beforehand, I was not ready for... What was it? I didn't want to do it. Didn't watch the film. Didn't want to do it at all.
No, I've been too busy recently and I'm getting annoyed at quite a lot of things. And then having to spend the only 2-3 hours I've had this week watching Power Rangers just felt like a monumental waste of my time.
Yeah.
So that's where we are at the moment. Yeah, it's all good. I'm joined by Penny.
Hi. I also watch Power Rangers because Dan made me.
Hi, and I live to tell the tale.
I have more time than Andy, so it didn't feel like such a hate crime having to spend my free time watching it.
Why do I feel like it's a bit like Alcoholics Anonymous, where I just put you through something, or like, hi, I'm Penny, hi, Penny, and I've watched the Power Rangers, the movie 1995 film.
It does feel a bit like that this week.
Yeah.
I'm feeling fantastic. And I've had a terrible week, but I feel
That's because you like Power Rangers.
It's not just that. But
I've just remembered the message that you sent us that made me fake leave our group chat. We're talking about Power Rangers, and Dan put, "This is my end game." So take that how you
That
want.
is true.
Yep.
I genuinely had an emotional reaction when I was a kid when I saw that film. So
That's why you're in a much better mood than we are.
This is going to turn into another conversation about nostalgia, but I think I hate Dan as a child.
Why? Because I was making fucking train tracks out of fish fingers and you didn't fucking appreciate it as well.
Yeah.
Go to After Dark, latest episode for that. A very regretful episode for one of us.
Now I've just got images of Dan with like turkey dinosaurs being like, go, go, Power Rangers, and like fighting them.
Yeah.
I bet he picked a different sort of condiment to colour the fucking dinosaurs as well. Oh, it's the yellow dinosaur, it's mustard.
Look, I had a great childhood.
Oh, it's Tommy, it's the white one. He's slathered in mayonnaise.
Hey, if you're fucking jealous of my perfect childhood, as I'm going to put it, that's your own fault. So, and I apologise you can't revel in my joy.
Sure.
I feel like if I put in a film from my childhood, which I'm now tempted to do, the one I'm thinking of, it was just like, Power Rangers is not I'm not the target audience. I'm not saying girls can't watch Power Rangers, but I was never the target audience for that film. So now I'm like, maybe I'll put in a childhood film, but you'll be like, this is shit because it's for girls.
Is it Charlie Chaplin?
Is Charlie Chaplin a kid's film?
I think he's calling you old. Can we move on from Power Rangers until we have to talk about it?
Yeah.
So later on, we're talking about Power Rangers out of the hat.
Again.
But first...
Talking about him again.
Yeah, it's so good. We have to talk about it twice. But first, a little tiny announcement. It's a pre-announcement before we make the announcement next week. We're taking a break.
We're tired, guys.
Forever. We're not coming back. We're done. That's it.
No, don't.
We're done.
He's wrong. This is his fault, so don't listen to him.
We are taking a 2-week break after next week's. So episode 40 will be our last one for 2 weeks, and then we'll be back on the 14th of April. So mark it on your calendars, your mother's calendars, your neighbor's calendars, your cat calendars, your dog calendars. Just make sure 14th April we'll be back. Better than ever.
No,
we have to
it'll
take
be the
a break.
same. We're just tired and we need
No,
a break.
for fuck's sake, marketing.
Nobody wants us to be better. Everyone is
I
fine
don't
with where
know
we
if
are.
we can get better. That's the problem. I think we've peaked. We peaked around episode 12.
Yeah. Which episode was 50 Shades? We peaked then. And internet.
7.
7?
7.
Above average. No, average is 7. Yeah, it works perfectly.
Anyway, my point was that we're back. We're taking a 2-week break because we have internal affairs to take care of during those 2-week gaps.
Yeah, HR got involved. It was awkward for everyone.
Yeah, it sounds like we're doing a hit on someone. We got to take care of a certain podcast that's saying bad things about us now. So yeah, we'll still be recording and stuff, and we'll still be doing stuff on our end, but there just won't be anything going out. But hey, stay tuned on the social websites and sites because there might be stuff going up while...
All right, Grandma. On the social website.
Oh my God. You guys, I'm trying to do, make it... You are my biggest critics on this whole fucking entire podcast.
Don't blame me.
Not everyone else.
I'm playing Candy Crush.
Not the people who say we sound like twats and, oh God, they don't know what they're talking about. You two.
It's nothing to do with me.
Anyway, my point was, we're going to still be doing stuff. There'll be stuff probably going on the Facebook pages and such pages while we take like a 2-week posting break, but look out for them. There's some surprises and stuff. Anyway, that's my thing done. Penny, you look like you're about to burp. Anyway, Penny, what do you do?
So
She's doing a burp.
I am doing a burp.
She did another burp.
So
Jesus Christ, all the coke.
today I watched Mr. Malevolent, which was its original title. Apparently it's now called American Nightmares, 2018, starring Danny Trejo. It is a horror movie. Sorry, Internet Ghost. No, Internet Ghost love horror. Sorry, everyone else.
No. We don't play the Internet Ghost unless there's an Internet Ghost theory or
You need to
thing
play
that
this
comes
then.
into play.
We'll put this in post because there is.
Oh, fuck. Play it. I haven't heard this for ages.
Whoa, I'm an internet ghost.
Well, look how happy he is now.
I'm an internet ghost.
I don't want to overuse
You
it.
just made his day.
We haven't used it since like episode 24. I've been counting. I've been waiting for it. I've had to play it in my own
That's the
time.
biggest smile I've seen Andy crack.
I'm literally sat at home singing it to myself.
Oh God, what's happened to you?
I think I'm having a breakdown.
Stop the podcast, for God's sake. Anyway.
Power Rangers pushed him over the edge.
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, I love horror anthology series. Tales from the Crypt being my favourite TV show ever. Putting that on record. New series of Creep Show comes out 1st of April on Shudder. So if anyone's interested in that. So I thought I'd check this out. There are 7 stories in this hour-and-a-half movie, so I don't know if we will do all of them. Depends how many questions you guys have.
Were they good? Question 1.
No more questions.
So I was saying this earlier.
No more questions, please.
You know when there's a big article and then at the bottom it's got too long didn't read and then like a sentence that explains what you didn't read?
Yeah.
These stories were the sentence that were too long didn't read.
Mm-hmm.
So Creep Show episodes are about half an hour each. Tales from the Crypt I looked up are about 22 to 30 minutes each. These seem to be about 15 minutes each-ish.
So the sweet spot.
No.
No?
There's not enough time to do anything in 15 minutes. And
There's plenty of things you can do in 15 minutes, Ben.
Some things you can do more than once.
Yeah.
doesn't always mean it's any good though, does it?
Well, it depends how you do it in your technique.
We talking about cooking pot noodles, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm
Noodles are
talking
not
about
good.
fried chicken.
You can't make fried chicken in 15 minutes.
You're giving yourself
Get
salmonella.
Fucking watch me. Fucking watch me. No, you don't. If it's defrosted, you're fine.
In fairness, I've seen him cook rice in a slow cooker, so who knows what the fuck he's doing.
What's wrong with the slow cooker?
You don't cook
Fuck
rice in a
off.
slow cooker. It's mental.
Yes, you fucking do. The rice is made for slow cooking. Sorry. Apologies.
Mr. Malevolent is Danny Trejo. He is the crypt keeper or the creep show man of this anthology. He, I say holds it all together. He's the bits in the middle. He hacks into two millennials' computers and forces them to watch horror tales. That's the synopsis.
Okay. So forcing them to watch a video.
Yeah. So...
Okay, it sounds like our podcast.
Yeah. So there are two guys and they've got, like, they're sat next to each other and they've got 3 screens each and there's a lot of porn
Oh.
looking things. There's a lot of boobs, there's a lot of butts. But it turns out they're not just watching porn together, which, you know, whatever you want to do. They're hacking into people's cameras and stealing videos and blackmailing people for money. You know, like those crappy emails you get, I saw you wanking on the internet, pay me a bunch of Bitcoin and I won't.
Wasn't there a Black Mirror episode about that?
There was, yeah. It had
Oh, that was a good
Robson
one.
or Jerome in it.
Which one?
It was Jerome.
Is he the one from Game of Thrones?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, that was good. So Danny Trejo
Not the
interrupts
one
their...
from Robson Green Goes Fishing.
No one fucking knows that.
So Danny Trejo is sitting there and he, direct quote, is dressed like a pimp from the 1800s. And he's sitting with the lady that plays Uhura from Star Trek, the original lady. There's going to be a lot of people in this that we recognise, and I will not call them by their character names. And she's kind of witchy.
Cool.
And they're just basically the link in between the stories. So the first story we've got is called Mates.
Hey. All right, mate.
Wait, lads. And there's two women sitting around. One of them's called Shanika. I can't read my own handwriting. So Shanika and her friend are sitting around talking about Shanika's shitty ex-boyfriend and how much they like dick.
As you do.
Casual.
Yeah, she's
As casual, yeah.
She's
Casual
basically
comfort.
like, all the men I go out with are shit. I'd go lesbian, but I like dick too much. And they clink their wine glasses.
I'd go lesbian, but I like
There's
dick
so many
too
things
much.
wrong with this.
Wow, you're really empowering all the women out there. Jesus Christ.
There was some, I say well known, there was some actors in this that I recognised that I enjoy. So it wasn't like all unknown people, but some of it was, I don't want to say questionable, kind like unnecessary, but we'll get into that. So someone turns up on Shanika's doorstep. Shanika. There was a whole bit about how you say her name, but I've forgotten it.
You've really got the names.
I fucking don't know.
I bet you every single one of them are wrong, and she's just going,
Shaniqua
Shanika?
and Shanika
I
in
think
the same
she-
story.
I
He-Man?
think so. Like this woman turns up at her doorstep and is like, "Are you Shaniqua?" And she's like, "It's Shanika." I think that's what she says anyway. Sweep them around. Nobody cares. It doesn't matter. It's only going to last 15 minutes. It's not important.
Okay.
So this woman turns up on her doorstep and gives her an invitation to a dating site. Like an actual physical, it's like, hey, join the best dating site in the entire world. But this is weird because we've sent it to you in the post.
Is it 1994?
I don't know. I mean, this was in 2018, but there is no, it's not dated, any of these. So who knows? So she joins up and she has to put in what her perfect man would be. She goes on a date. It goes well. It goes very well. And there's some really terrible sex screams in it. She...
Screams.
Yeah.
Oh, please. I am an expert on these. Let's give us a demo.
No, because I can't remember. But it was like, there was some noises and then she was like, ah! Like more screaming than, ah! Your sex noises. It was odd.
So it's less, it's more scream than actual...
She was having a nice time. Everyone was having a nice time.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah. So then they go at it again. So have a nice time. They go at it again, and halfway through, he like powers down.
He powers down.
Sorry?
He powers down.
His battery's low.
Yep. And he stops,
Right.
and she's like, and he kind of falls over a bit, and he's laying there with his mouth and his eyes open like that. And then he starts to glow, and then this woman's voice is going, "Your free trial is over. Your free trial is over. Your free trial is over." Right?
That's fucking genius. That's some Black Mirror shit, and I'm into it. That's pretty good.
The thing with a lot of these stories is the premise was great, seeing as how much I like Tales from the Crypt, but it wasn't long enough. It really wasn't long enough for any of these. So
Is that the actual episode done? Is that how it ends?
no, but there's not much left.
Oh, I
It'll
thought...
probably take me longer to fucking explain it than to watch it. Her ex turns up and he's like, "Where is he?" And she's like, "What?" He's like, "I know you brought a guy here. I know you brought him here. I fucking sent him to you. I sent you that invite. Why?" Like, he's like, "I sent you the invite to the dating app to make a point." He's like, "There's no such thing as a perfect man. So I sent you this robot who was perfect to prove a point."
What? What?
He's an asshole, but he's basically
That
like...
makes no sense.
Yeah, he's an asshole. He used to like hit her and stuff. So I think his point is like, you want a perfect man. There's no such thing. So you should just stay with me because you're never going to get a perfect man.
So fuck this robot?
Well, then
No. What he's saying is that the perfect man doesn't exist. Here is a robot to prove that it doesn't exist. It has to be manufactured to be perfect. There's no point in looking for the perfect man, so come back to me.
Because there isn't one.
Essentially.
I think his name is Reggie.
It's not
Right.
rocket science, this one. It's nice and straightforward.
Yeah.
It is robot surgery, though.
Needs robots.
He kisses her and he's like, don't tell me you banged that thing. And she's like, yeah. And then he gets really mad that she banged it, even though he sent it to her. So he starts smashing up her house and shouting and screaming. And then he goes upstairs and she's panicking. So she grabs her credit card to go online to fill in her credit card number so she can pay for the robot to help her out.
Oh, yeah, because you can do that quickly. That's not going to take all fucking days, is it?
It takes so long. And I'm like, what is he doing? And then, because I thought he was just in, like, she's run into the lounge or whatever and he's in the kitchen. I thought he was just smashing stuff up and shouting. But he's gone upstairs and he's grabbed the robot and he's brought the robot downstairs and he's chucked it on the floor and he's kicking it. And then he starts to choke Shanika. And he starts choking her, but she's put in the details now. So the robot wakes up and he saves her. And I'm pretty sure the ex is called Reggie. And he's like, who the fuck are you? Captain Saver, bitch.
That's bad, isn't it?
Yep. Reggie shoots the robot, but the robot is obviously made out of some sort of metal. The bullet bounces off of the robot, goes back into Reggie and kills him. And then the robot's like, you're entitled to a full refund if you want one. And she's like, nah, I'm good. The end.
So she keeps the robot.
I guess so. That's the end.
Does the robot help bury the body? Because I assume
does.
if it's the perfect, it makes sense. Perfect.
Yeah,
man,
he's like, I
robot.
should probably help you with this, shouldn't I? She's like, yeah, please. And that's the
Yes,
end.
because technically you killed him.
Can we score these?
You can.
Can me and Andy score these out of 10?
Yeah.
8.
Right, just based on that.
8.
Fuck off. 8? You kidding me?
I've only got one question. And the question is, how much was the subscription for the robot each month and where can I get one from?
Don't know. Can't help you. Sorry.
I guess that was 2 questions.
Yeah, can't help you. Don't know.
8.
It's fuck flicks.
Dan, score. Come on, this is only the first one.
No one heard that.
I heard fuck flicks.
No, we
Chose
heard
to
it was
ignore it.
crap. It was carry on.
Oh, thanks. All right. Just
This
no
bit
reaction.
is
Oh, I
almost
should
as long as
expect
it took
that.
to watch it. So go. What's your score?
That just based off what you said and not seeing it for 3.
Right.
That sounds awful.
Next one, The Prosecutor, starring Jay Moore, who was one of the gay cops in Go.
8.
Are you already scoring it? He's a lawyer. You come in and he's on a court case. Also, there's bits with the kids and the computers in between. But anyway, so he is the lawyer, and there was a court case where Crabman from Would You Rather and My Name is Earl. Crabman's back. Don't know his name. Crabman apparently murdered a family, and Jay, the lawyer, has done his lawyery thing and sent him to jail, and he's on death row.
Okay.
There's a tiny bit where Jay is being interviewed on the news by Vivica Fox, literally like 2 minutes. Like a minute, not even that, seeing as how these are like 15 minutes. So they've got
Who's
Vivica Fox, who was in Kill Bill and like actual movies.
Oh, okay.
Literally, we don't need any of that. She just happened to be in it. I was surprised. Jay's at home with his family having dinner, or he's at his house, and he gets a knock on the door, and it's this witness from another case. And she's like, I've been calling you, I've been emailing you, you haven't answered me, She was like, you know how I said that Crabman was the guy that I saw, and he murdered his family. I saw him coming out of their house. Like, it wasn't him. I saw a different guy on the news, or I saw Crabman on the news because he's being executed. That's not him. You need to do something. He's innocent. And Jay's like, nah, because I think he's running for governor of Texas, and like this was a big thing. And he's like, I'm not gonna fix it.
He doesn't want to be disproved.
15 minutes.
Yeah,
They're gonna put all this in 15. Wow. Okay, this is interesting.
we think the film's an hour and a half. You've got credits either side. You've got the bits of Danny Trejo in the middle, and 7 stories. I'm not even sure. I feel like some of them are even
like
shorter.
8 minutes long each.
Like some of them.
I mean, if they're done right, there's a series on Netflix called Love, Robots or Love, Death and Robots. That's about 15 to 30 minutes, and they're fucking phenomenal. But if they're done right, then they're good. Not this in the length of it or anything.
That's it. Like I think the shortest, when I looked up, the shortest episode of Tales from the Crypt was only 22 minutes, and I don't know which one it was, but I don't know. They were just good. There's a lot of.
Go on with this one. What's this one?
Yeah,
go with this one.
is. So he won't stop the execution, and he threatens the witness, because he's like, I'm not going to do it. And he knows something about her husband. I think he made something go away for her husband. So like he's like blackmailing her or something. He's like, I'm going to tell everyone about your husband, so just shut up and leave me alone. So she leaves, and then he's having dinner with his family, and he gets a phone call saying that Crabman has escaped from prison. So he's like, fuck, call the police, send someone to my house. And he's running around, and he goes to get his gun, and all the lights turn off. He runs back downstairs, and his family are gone. Crabman turns up, and they have a massive fight, punching each other, and he shoots Jay. And then you get a shot, and Crabman's still in jail.
Mm-hmm.
And then we go back to Jay's house, and all his family are dead on the floor. So his wife and his 2 kids are dead on the floor.
But he's in jail.
But Crabman's in jail still. So then the police turn up. They've handcuffed Jay to his banisters. And he's like, I didn't fucking do this. Crabman did this. And they're like, no, he's not here. The policeman that called him originally to say that he's escaped from prison turns up. And he's like, what the fuck? And he's like, you called me and said that he escaped. And he's like, no, I didn't. And he's like, when did this happen? He's like an hour ago. And he's like, oh, but Crabman was executed half an hour ago. He did. So you've killed your family. I'm
waiting for someone to come out and go, you've just been punked.
Well, it's just, don't know. I guess it's like a Crabman's ghost. Crabman's dead.
Does it get explained?
No.
Does it get explained?
No. Jay gets...
What?
Jay gets taken to prison and he gets executed. The end.
One.
That's
fucking... What's the message there? What like the other one, there's a... You learn a little bit there about the backstory and the character.
I'm assuming
that's just...
Crabman didn't kill anyone. And there was, I don't know, like a force that made him do it. And then the same force made, like, it's killing families. I don't know. I'm using my inference skills.
It doesn't make sense.
Maybe the message is all about hubris, because the governor didn't want to change his mind and look like a dickhead, so he let a guy die unnecessarily instead of owning up to his issues.
Or Crabman was like spooky, and while he was sitting in jail, he's like, I'm going to send my spooky spirit to kill your family, but everyone will think it's you, so then you'll be dead too. Fuck you. Yeah, I don't know.
1.
Andy?
4.
Okay. White flight. This was a thing.
Pardon me?
This was
what does
a
that
thing.
mean?
Oof. Okay. So there's a dude opens his door to a delivery man. He's very racist.
Never seen you look so scared ever.
He's very racist. He calls the guy that answers the door Chinese, and he's like, I'm Polynesian, and he's like, Chinesian, Asian. You need to get your Nesians and get it sorted. Like it's
get your Nesians.
Something like that. I'm paraphrasing. Okay. It's bad.
I'm looking forward to editing this one.
I've never heard. No, that's fine. No, I've never heard the word Nesians.
Maybe he says
before.
You need to get your knees and something like that. It's.
Okay.
He's very racist. He was quite rednecky. I couldn't understand him. He turns out he was a cop because he's the delivery guy is like, oh, aren't you that guy? And he's like, yeah, I'm that cop, and I killed that guy. He kills a guy, I guess, in the line of duty. I didn't really understand it, but we'll keep going. So yeah, he's really racist to all the delivery people who deliver him a weird-looking machine, and it's him, his wife, and a baby. And his kid, and they stand in front of the machine and they all disappear and they reappear in the desert. It turns out that I think they were trying to go back in time because, and I'm quoting, to get away from all the racial mixing. They're very racist. They're not happy in this time period with all the racial mixing, and I think they get a time machine to go back in time to escape
that. Simpler times?
And they end up in a place called White Fork. So they're in the desert. They like go to where they can see like a bit of a town, and there's a big, town sign that says White Fork, and it says on it, "No blacks allowed ever."
Okay.
Yep.
What about Asians?
Doesn't say anything about Asians
what about
or
the
Nesians.
Nope. Hispanic,
those bastards.
Irish.
Well, you'll find out in a minute. I'm like, okay. So they run up to the town and they're in the desert, and it looks like it's just like a petrol station, I think is the only bit I remember seeing. And they meet a guy And he's like, hey, how are you? Like, oh, and they're like, newcomers. And he's like, yeah, me and my family, shaking hands and whatever. And then the guy looks at his wife and his kid and starts screaming, blacks, blacks, blacks. And he runs off, and no word of a lie, he presses an alarm and he's shouting, blacks, blacks. And his fucking alarm is going off and people start coming out and having a look. And the family are just laughing haha.
He's looking at his wife and kids who are not black, who are white.
They are white. And he's screaming black. So the guy is like, yeah, no, we don't like them either. Like, yeah. The police turn up and the policeman he's not Caucasian. I don't know what he is, but I'm like, okay, so he's not the same color as these guys, but okay. And then he shoots the wife and the kid with a taser. And he kills them.
He kills them with a taser?
Well,
with a taser?
Well, apparently it's not a taser. They call it, like, we've got those new space... It's not a space gun. I don't know. He says about how they got a new gun. It keeps the outsides intact, but it turns the insides to mush. It's much easier to clean them up.
So cool. They've gone back in time.
I don't know. It wasn't clear. We've got 15 minutes. Okay. We can't explain it.
All right. I shouldn't ask questions. We'll just finish it and we'll discuss.
So the guy's like, why the fuck did you kill them? And he points to the policeman. He's like, they're not black. And he's like, you are. And they're like, no, he doesn't have, not black skin, black hair.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So they both had black hair.
What?
The guy is blonde. The mum and the daughter have black hair. It's not no black skin. They're like, why would we give a shit if you have black skin? It's fucking black hair that's the problem.
Pen. And
he's like, oh, it's going to get worse. And then this is the worst one. I've written a quote and then I've written Christ. He's like, that was my wife. And he's like, really? You were one of those dirty black rug lovers?
Highlight 10.
Wow.
Then the policeman goes, hang on a minute, grabs the baby off. It's like a tiny baby, like wrapped up. And he's like, what colour is the baby's hair?
Boots it into the road?
No, it's worse. The baby's got black hair, but they can't use their special guns on babies because the babies are too small. So they have to...
Just use it on a fucking kid.
Well, she was like a teenager, but babies are too small.
Oh, all right then.
So they have to do it the old-fashioned way. So he puts the baby in a bag and smashes it against one of the petrol tanks.
Oh, I thought it was going to chuck in a microwave.
No, he smashes it, but it's all intercut.
When is chucking a baby in a microwave the old-fashioned way? Yeah. Please explain that.
In the desert.
Well, I thought maybe if they were trying to melt the insides and it was too small, you would just
I think they were just melting the insides because it was less messy. Anyway, but while he's smashing the baby up in the bag, it's also intercut with flashbacks of the policeman kicking this guy to death.
Okay.
And then he's screaming because he's just fucking murdered his baby in a bag in front of him. And they drag him off, and then they just says the family and the baby in a bag are all strung up. Christ. That's the end.
Right. So I'm looking at this for some social commentary on racism, but it's done in a different way. Again, something Black Mirror did as well in a better way. But just when it's to do with the hair...
Yeah, I get it, because they were like, oh, why would we give a shit about black skin? That's stupid. We hate black hair. And you're like, yeah,
what
racism is stupid.
If you went, Pen?
If I went?
Because your hair is like, what, blue and purple?
Well, it doesn't say no blue and purple's allowed. It just says no blacks allowed, so I'm assuming I'm fine.
No blue and purple.
Surely they could have just dyed their hair at the border. At the border.
I'll give it
Dan, what's your
I'm
score?
giving it a 3. That one's bullshit.
Yeah, I think a 3
I get
too.
what they're trying to do, but also...
It's not long enough.
Badly.
It's really not long enough. Then we go back to the guys being assholes and blackmailing people. They talk about like, oh, did that bitch like pay you? Like, oh no, she was supposed to give me like 800 by last Friday, but she didn't. So I posted like the pictures of her and a dildo all over the internet and sent them to her friends and family. And then they like check on her or they check on someone else and she's killed herself. And I've put, I wonder if she's an internet ghost.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Oh, I'm an internet ghost.
That's all you're getting.
Yep.
We're doing it too much now.
Yep.
Fuck's sake.
Next story is called The Samaritan. Worn out.
How many more have we got left?
One. I've got notes all over the fucking place. What have we done? We've done 3. We've got 4 more.
Christ, let's get a fucking move on, shall we?
Starring Chris Kattan, who I fucking love. He's in Night at the Roxbury with Will Ferrell and House on Haunted Hill. He's great. He plays a guy with cancer. A man and a woman turn up on his doorstep and he gives them some money. And I'm like, okay. So it took me a little while to work out that she was a hooker. He says, I have one request, which is usually never good. And then I've just written, oh, he likes clowns. It's his request. So he wants her to put on some clown makeup and wear a clown outfit. Each to their own,
nice.
but
Yeah.
clowns.
Whatever floats your boat.
Obviously, that's extra.
Something about a squirting flower.
Oh,
Whatever tickles your pickle.
oh, squirting flower would have been good. There's a creepy cupboard. The girl goes into a room and she puts on the weirdest clown makeup. It's like red and white stripes down her neck, a bit like a circus tent. But then she looks more like some sort of Princess Mononoke warrior Joker. She's painted like the top half of her face like red. I don't know, in some sort of Mad Max type. I've not seen it, but Mad Max type thing. And then drawn like a Joker. She's like the creepiest clown ever, but maybe that's what floats his boat.
Probably.
And then we have to change notebooks. And
I tell you what, if you had that as a kink, it'd be a nightmare going to kids' birthdays parties, wouldn't it?
I don't think you'd be allowed.
I didn't have a problem with it.
So then the creepy cupboard, the door's been opening, the door's been kind of creaking open and shut. The girl goes and looks in the cupboard and finds the body and ghost of another girl dressed as a clown.
The body and ghost.
She sees the dead body.
Oh, not again.
And then the ghost fucking talks to her.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
No, this is fine.
She's picked up a crucifix from somewhere. I thought I was going to write a note earlier saying that she'd nicked it, but then I wasn't sure if she nicked it, and then I felt like I was being mean about her because she was a hooker, and I assumed she stole it. But she's got this crucifix, and the ghost says, as long as you have the crucifix, you can help me. She goes into the living room.
Sarah Michelle Gellar.
The pimp is still there. He is sat on a chair. He's dead under a blanket. And then Chris Kattan comes out dressed as a clown with a huge balloon penis.
Yay, knew it was coming.
Like a long balloon, obviously. Not a round balloon.
Yeah. You want to be ashamed of it. Yeah.
And it's sticking out of his trousers like a dick, and he's waving it around.
So it's like a giant boner.
Yep.
Basically.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
And
cool.
he
Awesome.
walks towards her, and then he gets another balloon, and he twists the balloon dick and the new balloon into a flower, and is like, a rose for a rose, and gives it to her.
That's
such a
ridiculous.
Douchey way of doing it.
Surprisingly, she's not interested, and then the dick is replaced by a sword. Like a really long sword instead.
Oh.
But it's just a balloon sword, right? Pop the
Nope.
balloons, you totally ate
Nope,
it.
it's a
It's a real sword.
Real sword.
Real one.
A real sword.
It's horror, remember?
He's chasing her down the corridor, but he can't walk in a straight line for some reason. So the dick is going all over the place, and it gets like stuck in a wall. It's like,
Oh, we've all been there.
pull it out. Then she hides in a room. She shuts the door. So he stabs her by thrusting. Well, he stabs through the door by thrusting the sword dick through the door in some sort of clowny hatchet way.
10. This is so stupid.
The actions weren't necessarily needed there, but they were
Sorry.
fun.
Yeah. The clown, he opens the door, the clown and the ghost clown then stab him with his own dick sword. And that's the end.
I thought the clown was dead.
Well, it's the ghost one. No, he didn't stab the girl,
No, the other
the
one.
hooker yet. She got away. He hadn't stabbed her yet. So then her and the ghost clown managed
right.
to stab him with his own sword dick.
Right.
Nothing like a good stabbing.
Hate radio. There is a radio man who's
Hang on a second.
Wait,
hang
we're
on.
going rating 10. 10. 10.
Andy.
I'm giving it a 3 because I feel like it could be better. But also, if anything, it'd be it would lower score if it wasn't for the sword penis.
Nothing's going to be better than this.
I don't know if this next one was made. It felt like the shortest. I don't know if it was. Yeah, Hate Radio as a radio host twat who's a bit like Rush Limbaugh. You know, he's talking about libtards and crypto lesbian man haters. He's one of those. He's doing his radio show. He's getting some phone calls in from all other incel assholes. with comments such as they didn't have Ted Bundy in the 50s because women knew their priorities. I'm assuming
What does
he
that
means.
even mean?
I took it to mean that they didn't have serial killers in the 50s because women would put out. I don't really know. I didn't.
That's definitely bullshit.
Sounds like it.
I mean, Albert Fish was around in the 30s. What happened between then and the fucking 50s?
Television.
Well,
Television.
Well, they all sat down and watched the Waltons and it solved everything. It's bollocks.
No, it's just that television was, you know what I mean, it was more popularised back then, but yeah.
we're going to have a direct quote where he says, behind every man charged with domestic violence is a woman that just wouldn't shut up.
Fucking hell.
I mean, I see what they're trying to do here. So with Tales from the Crypt, it's usually, there's a lot of irony, and it's usually about, the person the story is about is usually not a great person, and they get what's coming to them. That seems to be the thread. You know, they do something they're selfish, and I feel like they're trying to do that with this guy. It just doesn't really work as well. He's just like, oh, really? He said that? Like, you could make him be a dick without... Anyway, he gets a call from Felix, who is a super fan. You know, he agrees with him. They make a big thing of being like, oh, Felix calls us all the time, blah, 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 blah. He gets some fan mail, and I don't really know what happened here. It was, originally he opened it, and it was a picture of him standing in front of an American flag. And he's like, yeah, cool. And then when he gets home, the picture is, he looks at the picture again, and it's him dressed as a woman. It's got like a blonde, someone's like badly photoshopped a blonde wig and given him tits on it. So he's like, ugh, and he chucks it in the bin. And then he gets in the shower, and when he gets out of the shower, the photo that he threw in the bin is now sitting on the side in the bathroom. And he's like, where the fuck did that come from? And then he goes, ah! And he clutches his head, and he's having like a really bad headache. And he's all like screaming and stuff. And then he puts his head down, and then he puts his head back up again, and he's wearing the blonde wig from the photo. And he...
Is this him trying to cover up what he truly is, and him trying to put on that image of...
No.
You know?
Nope, he's literally turning into a woman, but they're trying to make it a bit like American Werewolf in London. Like, he suddenly grows tits. He stumbles out of the bathroom, and his dick and balls fall off, which is actually really funny. They literally just flop onto the floor.
All been there.
He picks them up. Andy's face. He picks them up, he stumbles down the stairs, and he stumbles outside and passes out on the floor, but then he turns into like an actual woman. Like, it's not him in a wig with tits anymore, it's a different actress. And a guy pulls up in his car and is like, "Are you okay? Hello?" And then it cuts to black, and the radio guy wakes up with a ball gag in his mouth in the lair of a serial killer. There is a serial killer going around called the Chopper. I forgot to mention that, but it's irrelevant because no one cares. And then it doesn't matter, none of this matters. And then so he takes I'm like, okay, so the serial killer's picked him up, he's gonna get killed, it's obvious. He takes the ball gag out, and he's talking it's still the radio guy's voice.
That's weird.
In this woman's face. Yep. And he's like, shut up, stop doing an impression of that guy off the radio. And he's like, I know your voice, you're Felix, you're like, I'm Hugh, like, we're friends, don't kill me. Felix is played by Frank from Donnie Darko. Felix doesn't give a shit. He just doesn't like ladies, probably because he listens to this radio show. Then he gets a blowtorch and he melts off the lady's face. And that is the end.
Crap. 2.
4.
The healer. There's a dodgy preacher, and he tells people that he can heal people, but obviously it's full of bullshit. He sells things like fake Jesus tears, that sort of thing. He's got an assistant that's got like a birthmark on her eye. He tells her to cover it up because otherwise no one will believe that he's a healer, because they'd be like, well, why didn't you heal her? He gets chloroformed and kidnapped by a guy, and the kidnapper is like, my daughter believed in your bullshit. She spent loads of money on Jesus tears and stuff, and she still had a tumor and she still died. You are a liar. The daughter's dead body is in the van, and he shows it to the preacher, and she's all gross.
That's weird.
And then he starts shouting at the body of his daughter, and it starts to cry. Starts to roll a couple of tears. The guy collects the tears and makes the preacher drink them. The police find them because they've put a tracker on the preacher's phone. And as the police are arresting the kidnapper, he's got like a bad hand, and his hand starts to stretch out and it's like fixed. And then the preacher's hand is fucked.
Ah.
And then
Plot twist.
one of his other assistant like touches him. He's like, "Oh, I'm glad you're all right." And then all of a sudden he's like, "I can't see. And then the assistant's like, "Wait, neither can I." And he takes off his glasses and he's like, "Oh, my vision's better without my glasses." And obviously the preacher's vision is
He is healed.
he's healed, yeah, basically. And
Hallelujah.
and he's like, "What have you done?" He's like, "I made you a healer, bitch." But the only way he can heal is by taking it from people. So the assistant with the birthmark comes up to him. He's like, "Don't touch me, don't touch me." She touches him and gives him her birthmark, basically. And he's like, "Now I've got your scar." And she's like, "Haha, I'm not taking it back," and runs off.
What?
The preacher freaks out, tries to shoot someone. He shoots someone in the leg, but it ends up shooting him in the leg instead. Then the dead daughter gets up out of the truck and touches him, and now she's alive and he's dead. The end.
I mean, that ending was questionable, but up until that, I was going to give it a 7.
The story is good.
5.
5. What are you giving it, Andy?
7.
7. Goes back to the two guys, and they have managed to find a new feed of 3 scantily clad women having a threesome, but then they start doing a satanic ritual, and they're like, "What the fuck is going on?" Then it cuts to the last story, Thy Will Be Done, which is a woman who is at some sort of clinic, and she's gonna come back tomorrow for a procedure. And this other woman pulls up next to her in a car, and she's like crying. She's like, "Oh, I lost my kid. I can't find my child. Like, here's a picture. Have you seen her?" It's all bollocks, and the woman gets chloroformed and kidnapped and chucked in the woman's van.
Everyone's getting chloroformed. I can't imagine it's that easy to get hold of chloroform.
I don't know. Maybe in this universe, everyone's getting kidnapped and abducted. Yeah. Then Galen turns up. Galen Howard. We love him. Big fan. Sorry.
Oh, Galen Howard. He follows us on Instagram.
I don't know if he listens, but hi if you do.
Oh, bloody love Galen.
Sorry I've shit all over this movie, but you were great in it. So
first interaction with him.
Yeah.
Fuck this movie, but you're great.
They just needed to be more fleshed out. Some of the stories were great, just needed more. So
tell me more about Galen.
He is part of this. It's the woman that was driving the car, Galen, and this other guy, and they are very, very religious, and they want her baby. And she's like, "I don't have a baby." And they're like, "Yeah, you do, in your belly. That's why you're at the abortion clinic." So they kidnapped her from an abortion clinic. And she's like, "Nope, I was raped. I don't want this baby." And they're like, "We don't give a shit." And then she's like, "No, I was raped." And she calls the rapist it. And I'm like, "Oh, okay, so we're going to get a monster baby. I know where we are." Mm-hmm. They kidnap her and they're going to keep her for 8 months and then make her have the baby, basically. Galen tries to force feed her like some sort of applesauce or something with a spoon. She's not into it. He's quite nice to her in this. Everyone else is a bit of an arsehole. It doesn't work, so we're going to call her Karen. The Karen takes over and they tube feed her instead. And to pass the time, we just she's in the bed and we just see like missing persons pictures and newspapers and stuff like that she's missing. Eventually I don't know what Galen's doing. I don't know if he's still feeding her with the tube. There's something to do with the tube, and she manages to choke him with this tube and knock him out. She manages to get her hands free. He wakes up and she fucking does him with a metal tray, like right in the face, knocks him out and runs out of the room. They're on some sort of ranch somewhere, I'm guessing in the middle of nowhere. She's running around trying to escape, but eventually they find her and she does not want this baby. Like, she is, I think they said they were going to keep it, like she's got another month or something. But she is like, "I am not having this baby." And she starts screaming. She's like, "I'm not having this baby." So she starts like punching herself in the stomach. They stop her and they take her back upstairs, and the baby starts to, because she's hit herself, I guess, it's baby time. She's going to have a baby. They've attached her to all sorts of machines. The machine starts glitching out. Karen starts talking in tongues. And then you see like the ultrasound and the baby has horns. The baby then shoots out of her and sticks to the wall opposite. It's got horns. It crawls down off the wall. And then it stands in front of them and it grows into a dude with horns. It then Galen and the other guy and the Karen are all stood in front of the demon, like, what the fuck? And the devil, like, strips all their clothes off them, so they're all naked. And they're like, what the fuck? And the devil says, you will all be used to take my seed. So he's going to impregnate them to make more demon babies.
Okay.
The other guy's like, nah, I'm a dude. You can't impregnate me. So the devil, like, does a weird mind control thing and brings the guy forwards. And then the blackmailer guy's computers explode. They all, like, short circuit and you can't see anymore. So that was the end of that story. So the computers explode. They can't see anything. And they're like, whoa, that was weird, wasn't it? We got hacked and shown some weird shit. Let's go for a drink. And then one of them is decapitated. Then
What?
Yep. The other guy then dies off screen. Some big demon thing. Not the same one as in the story, but some sort of devil thing is there, and then kills the other guy off screen while the 3 women from the ritual look at him through the screen. And that's the end of that. And then we go back to Danny Trejo and Lieutenant Uhura, and he's like, cool stories, bro. And he de-ages her because she looks like she does now, and now she's like a 20-year-old woman. And he's like, I really like your stories. Have you got any more? And she passes him a skull, and he's like, oh, this is the scariest story of all. And weirdest enough, it involves you. And like points out the screen, and that's the end.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
There's also a sequel.
Here's the thing with this, Pano.
The last one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, let's do the scores first.
Hang on, sorry. The sequel's called Tales from the Crib.
Of course it is. Yeah, the last one's just... I don't get these too much, I think. I think they're just not for me. So, 2.
See, the last one was the most interesting one. I think they could have done the most with it. So I'm going to give it an 8.
Ooh.
Plus, bonus point for your boy Galen, number 9.
So, yeah, don't watch this. Watch Creepshow. Watch Tales from the Crypt. Even VHS was better than this, from what I remember.
It sounds like it. Yeah.
I don't like.
I feel
Go on.
I feel like if this was a series instead of a 90-minute film, and they could put more than 10 minutes into each one,
Yeah, they weren't long enough.
it would have been better. Because there's so many things that they could have built on.
Like, I honestly, when people ask me what my favourite TV show is, and not that I rewatch all of it all the time like people do with Friends, but if you were like, if there's one TV show I think that people are like, what if you could never watch anything else again, I would pick Tales from the Crypt. I love it. I love I feel like I've watched so much of it, I'm going to die in some really like ironic way because I've like been stupid and made a wish on a monkey paw or something, which I would never do actually because that's not smart. I know what happens. But like Creepshow is 6-hour episodes, so there's 12 stories over 6 episodes, so they're half an hour each, so it gives you, because you don't have to connect with the main character usually because they're usually an asshole and they deserve it, or the main character is good and the asshole that is upsetting them or whatever gets what they deserve. But yeah, you don't need a long time to set it up, but 10-15 minutes is not enough to do anything.
Not long enough.
No, it made me more cross because like some of the stories I wanted more from it. So there you go. I'm knackered.
No surprise.
Okay. Well, thank you for your 7 short stories of horror goodness. Mixed reviews from me and Andy, obviously, but yes, either way.
What the hell are you?
Your superior. You will all be used to take my seed. Put simply, like her, you will bear my children. Then you will die.
Hey, check it out, homeboy. I'm a man, dog.
So I have a new segment that's called Dan's Controversial Corner.
Oh God, he hasn't told us about this.
It's a segment where I take a controversial film and decide if it's controversial enough for it to be controversial. So this week, I watched the 2021 film. Fuck's sake, you guys are useless. 2021 film, I Care a Lot, which is a American dark comedy thriller.
Are you going to spoil it?
No, I don't spoil films.
Good, just checking.
Like you two.
Well, no one needs to watch that shit.
Starring Rosamund Pike and Peter Dinklage. Rosamund Pike was in Gone Girl and Peter Dinklage obviously in Game of Thrones. So The critics love the film. It's pretty much like 80-something% on Rotten Tomatoes. The audience, 25%. So I was like, this is controversial. Why is it like this? Why does the critics like and why the audience hate it? So I went to investigate to see if it's actually as controversial as people say it is. And to give you the short synopsis of it, Rosamund Pike plays Marla Grayson, who is like a woman that takes care of old people when they're too old to live on their own. So she's essentially a woman that goes around. Oh, she's a comm woman, a secret comm woman. Essentially, she's has this kind of facade or like her outside personality where she's helping the elderly, you know, by going up to them and going, oh, you should be in a home and stuff. But what she's secretly doing is taking all their possessions and selling them. And her excuse is, well, they have to pay the bills for the care home, don't they? But she's secretly just taking the money. She's a real bitch in this film as well. She's a real fucking piece of work. Like, she's really good in Gone Girl. She's fucking fantastic in this. Like, she really plays the part. And she has a Karen haircut a bit as well. Really plays the part of just someone you just fucking hate. Like, really fucking hate. And she's the protagonist. And this is where the problem comes in with this film. Because there's two sides of this kind of film. On the one side, you have the anti-hero. We're all familiar with the anti-hero. It's the one that's a bit of an asshole, a bit of a dick, but they kind of, you see some resemblance in their character that you see in you, and you kind of go, yeah, I kind of get what they're doing that. They're sometimes good, sometimes bad, whatever. And then you have the straight up villain, which is what I would class her as, which is she is the protagonist, but she is also the main villain, and you are following the main villain around the whole fucking film.
Okay.
And that's fine. That's not what the problem with this film is, I would say to some people. It's when they do the forcing the woman empowerment over men. Being a feminist, let's put it that way, she, for some reason, doesn't like men in this film.
Dan, you've completely lost me. I know nothing about this film. Why is it supposed to be controversial?
The controversial side of it for people is that it's more of a, without spoiling it, mild spoilers, like very mild spoilers, but without spoiling it, she's a character that, in a way, is like this very independent woman, right? But at the same time, she's an asshole.
Okay.
You know, she's doing bad things to old people. Like,
Yeah.
she's doing horrible fucking things. And the problem with this film is that, and I'm not saying I'm for and again, I'm not saying like, oh, I believe like it is controversial, not yet. It's a case of, I think people are expecting her to be an anti-hero, where you see resemblance in her character with. But that's the thing. I think a lot of people who, and I'm not saying that, like, the problems I have with this film are not to do with her. It's more to do with the story itself. It's fucking plot hole city in this whole entire fucking thing. It doesn't make a lick of sense half the time. But the problem that people had with this film is that she is the main character, and normally with main characters, by the end, essentially, you're meant to see some good in them, and there's no good in this character.
Is it a bit like? Is it a bit like, you ever seen It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia?
Yes.
Yeah, the people I know that don't like it are like, but they're awful. They're terrible people. And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, but I don't like them. I'm like, you're not supposed to like them, even though we do end up liking them a bit. But is that the kind of thing like where you think you don't like that person at all, so you've got no one to root for, which is why it's kind of...
Well, you're rooting for Peter Dinklage, who's essentially a mafia boss.
But she's the protagonist, so that's why it's weird.
She's the protagonist, but there's two sides of it. Like there's a side where you don't have to have this man-hating aspect of her. Like that side of it, it's a bit questionable from when I watched it. Was that, yeah, she can be a dick character, you know, just be an asshole to people. But then there's another side of her which seems like the main message of the film, where it's like She even talks to some men and go, I'll grab, like she says, like, just because you're a man doesn't mean you can do this and that. I'll grab your balls and pull them out of your socket. All men have been telling me to do stuff all my life and blah. And I get if that's like her goal, like, because she's just trying to prove something to the man. But the problem is her character is bad.
Yeah.
So her proving stuff to people is by doing terrible, terrible fucking things, stealing people's money, stealing people's livelihood from old people. So I get that they're trying to do that whole I hate men side of it, but at the same time, you're looking at her and going, well, you're terrible. You're a terrible person. So it's a confusing film to get your head around a little bit, but people didn't like it because it was too man-hatey from the majority of it, and they couldn't root for her. And I don't think that's a problem in films, because like in certain films we watch, we don't root for like the main characters sometimes because they're not essentially the greatest, but either way.
Usually in horror films with stuff like Freddy and Jason, you root for the murderers, you don't root for the kids. Like you can root for a bad person, but not like a realistic bad person. In a way.
Yeah, definitely. It's good acting. Like, she's great. Rosamund is really good in it. Peter Dinklage is great in it. Yeah, the problem I actually had with this film was just the plot line. There's a lot of things that you could say, well, why didn't she do that? And why didn't he do that? And stuff. And it could have been resolved and stuff. And it goes many places that I didn't expect. And it seems a little bit messy at times. But I don't think it's too controversial. So I'm going to put my stamp on it and say it's not too controversial. There are times when you think that's not necessary it doesn't seem necessary for the character. But I get what they were trying to do. Like, not all main characters are going to be likable, and she has her issues and stuff. But it's still an interesting watch because it's a very different type of film. Kind of watching the villain the whole fucking time. But yeah.
It sounds like Oscar bait.
It is nominated for Golden Globe.
That would do it.
And it sounds a bit like they're trying to make her unlikable, but like
empowered.
Yeah, and like smashing you around the head with it rather than her like subtly just being a dick. She's like, I hate men and I hate this and like it just doesn't.
Yeah.
You can, be unlikable subtly without.
There's just too many unnecessary dialogues that go into it, though. Like, you really didn't have to really put that in, but it's there because it's trying to enforce that whole I hate men side of things. And that's fine. Again, I'm not saying she hates men. It's fine if the character hates a man. Like, if she had a bad experience with men, that's absolutely fine. But she's not entirely great herself. So that's all I'm going to say.
Do you know who it was written by?
It was written and directed by Jay Blakeson, who did The Disappearance of Alice Creed, I believe. Jonathan Blakeson. There you go. But it's a brand new film. It came out on Netflix a couple of weeks ago, and it's worth a watch. Just don't get you might get triggered by it. I don't know, but I don't think it's too controversial. I think if you're not too fussed about your main character not being the nicest person, I think you'll be all right with it. So I'm going to say it's not controversial in Dan's Controversial Corner. We'll be back same time whenever I do this fucking segment again.
I don't understand. She checked herself into a care home?
No. She's there by court order. She's now a ward of the state. Your mother's doctor deemed her incapable of taking care of herself.
But that's bullshit.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So how did this happen?
Let's go.
Andy, do you want to quickly mention the thing that we watched?
I watched Willy's Wonderland.
Yeah, we
did. In the
did.
trailer, it's essentially Five Nights at Freddy's. Nicolas Cage is, I want to say a mute guy, but he's not really. He just doesn't talk. He's like stoic and
he says
nothing.
Less words than Ryan Gosling in Drive by quite a lot, which is impressive.
He says no words, exactly no words. But it's all
No,
about...
doesn't he say something at the end?
Nope.
Oh, I'll take it back.
Goodbye.
He says no words, but it's about a guy whose car breaks down. He gets picked up by a mechanic. Mechanic takes him back to the garage and says, I can fix the car, but we don't have any internet, so you can't pay.
Yeah, you can't use a card. You can't. It's all really weird excuses.
Yeah, the only way you can pay is with labour. So go
he
to
says
this
you can pay with
restaurant.
cash, but nobody's got like $3,000 in cash on them or whatever he wanted.
Oh yeah, that's true. Go to this restaurant, pay with labour, and then your aces. But within the restaurant, it's kind of like a Chuck E. Cheese place full of animatronic animals and a weird fucking pixie-looking woman. And they all come to life and try and murder him.
It's Five Nights at Freddy's.
It's Five Nights at Freddy's, pretty much. Interestingly, the IMDb trivia says this is not associated with Five Nights at Freddy's specifically.
I almost don't know how they got away with it being, because it is really close storyline-wise.
Influenced.
It's spot on. It's almost exactly the same from my vague knowledge of Five Nights at Freddy's.
Yeah.
There's a birthday song in it that is stuck in my head most mornings, which isn't fun.
Shall I get you a t-shirt when I get one? Because I want a Willy's Wonderland t-shirt now.
Sure. We'll get team t-shirts. It's worth a watch,
It was good.
but set your expectations low and you'll probably be happy with it.
Nicolas Cage was
Hamming it up.
the worst part of the movie, in my opinion.
I mean,
Hey, well, we were saying about this last night when I watched it, that because he doesn't say anything, he is forgettable. He could be anyone. He could be any dude kicking the shit out of animatronics. Like, he doesn't say anything. There's no personality. There's no Nicolas Cage in him because he doesn't say anything. So you could literally replace him with anyone and it wouldn't make any difference. To me, anyway.
here's the thing, right? John Wick is generally quite a quiet character, doesn't say many words, he's quite chilled. He's more interesting than Nicolas Cage is in this. Without, like, the, obviously, firearm skills. He just looks more broody and is happy to kick the shit out of people, regardless. Whereas this comes across a bit tame, I think, in points. Like, I know he's beating up animatronic animals, but also it wasn't as gory as I was expecting. Like, I was expecting some proper fucking horror, and it's a bit... I'll say it's a bit crap, but, you know...
It was absolutely fine.
I would say it's the perfect background film to put on when you're not really paying attention. And that's what I did when I watched it, and it was fine.
I can't see how, because there's a Five Nights at Freddy's film in the works. Seeing as how their target audience is children, I don't know. It depends where they're going to go with it. They're going to make it a 12A or a 15. I don't know.
Five Nights at Freddy's is not a kid's thing.
No, it's not.
Not
but when I worked in a school, that's how I heard about it, because all these fucking like 6 and 7-year-olds I knew were playing it, and I'm too scared to play it. I'll put that out there. But
6 and 7-year-olds playing it.
Honestly, when I worked in a school, kids like 8-year-olds obsessed like with toys and everything, and I'm literally like, what are they playing? And then that's how I fell down a rabbit hole, because it's scary as shit, and I'm like, I'm into this, but I'm too fucking wussy to play it. I hate being made to jump.
Yeah, the only kid I know who's obsessed with it is 27.
See, I haven't worked in a school for 5 or 6 years now, but they were coming in with like plushies and stuff that their parents buy, and they're all playing it. They've all got, can you play it on your iPad? They've all got iPads. I don't know.
Parents regulate what your children play.
I've never played it, to be honest. Much like Penno. I'm too wimpy.
Yeah, but that's it. So I'm interested to see if they are aware of, maybe not necessarily their target audience, but the audience the younger audience that was playing it, because obviously it's all jump scares. It's not particularly bloody in the game. You could make like a really good, really gory one for grown-ups, but then you don't need one now because they've got this.
Well, I think there's some lore within it that is quite graphic, so maybe that's what they'll try and do with it, but I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Well, kids, watch what you play.
Hey, Tito.
Hola, Willy.
I hear there's a birthday boy in the audience tonight.
Sí, Willy. Cantamos.
It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun. It's your birthday, so let's party, everyone. It's your birthday, and we want you to have fun. It's your birthday, so let's party, everyone.
Our film out of the hat this week is
Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Power Rangers. Yeah, from 1995. This stars no one we know.
Yeah, it does.
To be honest. Yeah,
Well, we know them
well,
from the Power Rangers.
Yeah, of course. We all know Tommy and Kimberly and
Kimberly.
Who's the really old one, the blue one? Why is he like 10 years older than the
Billy.
rest of them? Yeah.
Billy. Because Billy's been around since day one. God
I was
bless
going to
him.
say, he looked like a 35-year-old man.
Yeah,
He probably was.
it's based off the TV show, and then they got money to make a movie. So in 1995, they made a movie.
Were they all in the TV show?
Except for the Red Ranger, because the Red Ranger got fired and then they rehired another one. I can't remember exactly all the details, but like as a kid, I went to the cinema to watch this. I was fucking excited.
So I think this film is set between season 2 and season 3 of the series, and at the end, middle of season 2, they replaced 3 of the Rangers:
Yeah.
yellow, black, and red.
Yeah, that's right.
This...
But the kind of main two characters, I would say, would be Tommy and
Kimberly.
Kimberly. I would say the two main
Yes.
Power Rangers.
The ones that I
were
were expecting to bang midway through, and I was like,
Yep.
"What is going on? This is a kids' film."
They send out some vibes
They
throughout
do.
the whole film.
Yeah, but
Anyway, the film starts.
Tommy's a babe. I never realised before. I'm like, and then when he gets his hair out, I'm like, I can see it now.
There you go. Film starts with Star Wars opening.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was annoying, wasn't it?
In the beginning, the Power Ranger. Yeah.
This is where I had a
Get the
problem
Star
with
Wars
it.
opening.
Like,
Oh, already? For fuck's sake, we just started.
the fact that
hell.
well, we had this conversation like off air. The fact this was the first movie, and I was like, okay, I know who the Power Rangers are. I get it. I'm supposed to have watched
Good.
the TV show, which I obviously never did. But I was like, I don't even know why they're Power Rangers. Actually, they were just like, oh, they picked some kids, and now they're Power Rangers. That was it.
Zordon just needed some kids to fight his fucking dirty work, so he picked 5 kids from the local high school that he was situated in, and then they became the Power Rangers.
Red flag.
How simple do you want it?
No,
they
that's
just
fine.
picked 5
Fine.
kids. There you go.
I was just expecting
All right.
slightly more origins rather than just a Star
If you want,
Wars opening.
if people want the origin story, there's the latest rebooted Power Rangers is the origin story of the Power Rangers. There you go. It's
Okay.
quite good as well. I went to see it as a 25-year-old. There you go. Anyway, so,
You're the only person I know who liked that film.
fucking love the Power Rangers. Leave me alone. I still love them. Anyway, this film starts with a nice little skydiving to the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's fucking great. And here goes Penny again.
What the fuck is a high school skydiving team? What is that?
Yeah. Yeah.
What is that?
Same question.
What?
What high school
It's a
has
charity skydive for the Angel Grove Observatory. What are you
What
talking
high
bit
school
fucking
has a
dangerous, isn't it?
skydiving team? And they go on their own.
Anyone? It's from a charity. They obviously just got
There's
grounded
no
some kids up. So do you want
adults.
to go skydiving?
And why Bulk
Oh
and
my
Skull
God.
up there? They were my favourite part of this movie. They weren't in it enough. There we
They're
go.
awful.
Did you know about Bulk and Skull beforehand, or did you
No.
just go, they look like my sort of people?
No, but they also
It's
reminded
interesting
me.
because they are very on brand for you.
Yeah, and they reminded me of some people from Hocus Pocus. I enjoyed them. I wanted more.
I have a note here where it says, I don't know if you noticed, but when Tommy puts his helmet on, it doesn't fit over
It
his
doesn't
head.
fit him. It comes out.
It doesn't fit. It goes up
Yeah.
to his fucking like bottom nose, and and he has it on the whole time. And oh my god!
Oh, and he's
They
got his
couldn't
fucking
reshoot it.
snowboard. What a douchebag.
They couldn't Yeah. What was with the snowboard? That never gets explained. Why do you have a snowboard skydiving?
He's just trying to be cool.
Just to land so you can slide down. It's so fucking bollocks anyway. But yeah. He has a stupid helmet that doesn't fucking fit his head throughout the entire film. And he has a snowboard. Good start, Tommy. You're the main fucking character. Anyway, they do the skydive. We get Red Hot Chili Peppers kind of intro, blah, blah, blah. And they end up, well, Bulk and Skull miss the target and they accidentally end up on a construction site. And this is where we start this whole Ivan Ooze thing where there's like, basically, to skip a lot, there's an egg that's underground in this construction site.
it comes with lots of puns.
There's a ton of puns in this whole entire thing, but there's essentially an egg in a construction site that's holding Ivan Ooze, who is our main villain of this. How do you feel about Ivan Ooze before I go ahead? Do you think he was the alright villain for a kids thing?
Actually, he might have been my favourite. He was fucking fabulous. He was great.
I thought he was alright, yeah, as a villain.
I thought it was absolutely fine.
I mean, he wasn't scary, but he was fabulous. I did like him.
I just missed Rita Skeeter.
Is she the lady
Oh god, Rita. Yeah.
that gets put in the snow globe?
Yeah.
That's her, right?
I should add, Rita Skeeter's from Harry Potter. That was a deliberate ruse.
Fucked if I know anything about Harry Potter.
Anyway, so there's this whole synopsis about there's this cracked egg and the construction workers are finding this cracked egg in the middle of a construction site. And apparently, what we know later on from Zordon, because he calls all the Power Rangers after they have a grand old time rollerblading, go, yeah, come on.
It's like they had to show you that they were the coolest kid in the 90s. Like, oh, they're skydiving with a snowboard. Oh, they're rollerblading and doing tricks. Get fucked.
They're so cool.
They just look like fucking douchebags, pretentious arseholes.
And do they always wear their colours?
Yes.
Yeah, all the time.
Okay, I thought so, but
Yeah,
like,
imagine that. Like, so subtle, isn't it?
I can't wear that. It's not pink.
Bunch of pricks.
Well, what? Imagine if they
Oh,
do
look
like...
at these Power Rangers that are all different colours. And look at all those 6 kids that always hang out together. They're all different colours too. That's weird, isn't it?
What a lovely coincidence.
I always imagine if they're doing like the fucking laundry or the washing up, if they accidentally mix their colours in and...
Tommy's gets in with the Red Rangers. He's like, no, Kimberly has
pink.
to wear this because it's pink. Fuck's sake.
I never thought of that.
I doubt he'd have any issue with that, to be fair.
To be honest, he'd be alright with that.
I'm sure he'd be well into it.
They're all trying to get Ivan Ooze out of the construction site, and they hear that, Ivan Ooze, he's coming out of, they found the egg in the construction site and stuff.
Can we talk about him coming out of the egg?
Yeah. All the original villains go, let's go get Ivan Ooze out of the construction site, out of the egg. And meanwhile, Zordon, who is Phil Mitchell in terms of the Power Rangers lore.
He looks like Phil Mitchell if you like he'd been underwater too long and he'd gone all like white and pruny, like a bloated body.
He's the Rangers kind of master, and then he
Dad, apparently, according to Kimberly. Like when she's like, you've been like a father figure to us.
Yeah,
which
but that's
leads to another question: where are their parents?
I fucking hate her. I hate her.
What? Fuck off! Don't you hate Kimberly? I'll fucking
Everyone
come over
loves
there and beat
Kimberly.
you.
Even like some of the villains were like, she's well fit, isn't she?
Yeah,
It's a bit much.
He's well fit.
Paraphrasing.
In fairness, I'm fairly certain I did send a message yesterday saying, I'd forgotten about Kimberly.
You did.
I've changed my mind. I'm in a bad mood about it.
Yeah, great. I'm glad. So the whole thing with Ivan Ooze is that he ruled the Earth about 6,000 years ago before Zordon overthrew him and a group of young warriors, also called the Power Rangers. So Zordon has been around for 6,000 years. And they trapped Ivan Ooze in the construction site in an egg, apparently, and make sure that he'd never come back. But now he's being released again. So Zordon's warning the current Power Rangers, he's coming out again of his egg. Go stop him. Meanwhile, they try to open the egg in the construction site with the construction workers. They touch it, they get electrocuted. Doesn't work. Until the bad guys come along and do a magical spell to open the egg.
So
That's how I'm going to phrase it.
I was not expecting the CGI in this to be good.
It's terrible.
But why does it look like a giant penis when he's coming out of the egg? Like the blob.
Yeah.
For a while, it looks
a little
really
bit.
penisy. And then, yeah, it was not good.
I was going to say, like, I had to look the budget up to work out how much it cost, because I'm sure CGI wasn't this shit, particularly in the third act I'm looking at now.
Oh, I have a question.
We're not there yet.
And I was like, Casper in 90 came out the same year, looks fucking fantastic. But it also had a 50 million budget and this had 15, so.
Yeah.
So from what I know about Power Rangers is that in the TV show, all the Power Ranger stuff is from Japan, right? And they can just dub over it because they've got their helmets on.
The fighting scenes, yes.
The fighting and stuff.
Japan.
Was this all filmed?
Yes.
No.
Yes. That's why
Yes.
it looked crap for most of it.
Okay.
That's why it wasn't as good. Yeah, well, okay. So basically, Ivan Ooze gets cracked open, I guess, and he's his thing is, and it becomes very strange later on. It hasn't aged well. His thing is, he's an ooze monster guy who has slime. He's kind of made of slime.
That was big in the
purpley.
90s, though, wasn't it? Slime. It's back now.
It
but
was
in the 90s,
big in the 90s.
you could get
Flubber was a big hit.
Nickelodeon had their own GAC, which is not the best name for child stuff. But yeah, slime was massive in the 90s. No, that's what you
I
call
don't
coke.
remember ever having slime. I remember the fart putty, but nothing more than that.
Yeah, but there was, Nickelodeon had like branded slime. Anyway.
So the Rangers find him and they confront him, and the way he knows that they're coming is one of my favorite lines where he goes, "Smells like teenagers." Which
That's weird.
I don't know what think of that, but either way.
They did that in like the witches and Hocus Pocus. Witches can usually smell children.
I guess.
Purple dudes from eggs, not so much.
Purple goo.
Well, it
men.
seems like, and I'm gonna slight tangent here. It seems like in every fucking anime, there's some prick you can smell from a distance.
That's true.
That's just your fucking animes you watch, mate. Especially cooking shows. So they...
He does it in Attack on Titan.
Yeah, Demon Slayer.
Ivan Ooze confronts them, the Power Rangers, but he unleashes some of his ooze monsters on them. And this is where we get, it's morphin' time! Time. And they change into their suits before they all vanish away. And there's a whole long sequence of them fighting these monsters where we get action boy now, action girl now music in the background, which is fucking brilliant. Everything's a flip.
It reminded me like somebody, they had the music, but they didn't have the lyrics. So the guy was like, action boy now.
Yeah, he just narrating.
Sneak attack, done a punchy thing. Yeah, action girl. Like just make it up as you go along.
Look up the lyrics in your own time. They're quite something. They're fantastic. They're like top 40 hits. I couldn't really find out if this was a top 40 here or not, but either way. Yeah, so one of the main things you find in the battle or the fighting sequences is everyone does a flip and every arm movement comes with a sound effect of whoosh, 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 every fucking time they move their
There's
arm.
more grunts in this than a fucking tennis match, isn't there?
Over there! Like that. It's so good. And so everything's a flip, everything's a drum, everything's a flip, and everything's a pun in the fight scenes. There are many puns.
Fuck off with your Auntie Donna.
Everything either turns into a flip or a pun. There's so many fucking puns in the fight scenes, like, gotta take a trip.
Yeah.
You're gonna get whipped. Gonna kick you face first. Something. I don't know.
At one point, I think she pulls out a thunder whip or something. I thought she said something about her underwear. Like, I didn't know what was going on. I couldn't really understand
Was that Kimberly?
Yeah, it was Kimberly.
Oh.
One of my favourite moments is when Kimberly kicks one of the monsters, and as he falls, he farts.
Yeah, it's so shit.
I don't know why. I really don't understand. But anyway, they fight them and they defeat them, and the fight distracts them long enough to allow Ivan to escape as he lays siege on the Rangers command center and kills Zordon by destroying the electrical systems and tubes in the base. Aye.
You mean he unplugs him?
Unplugs him. Basically, in the most simplest way.
What the fuck is that robot as well?
What?
Alpha?
Alpha's
I
amazing.
seem to remember really liking Alpha as a kid, and now I think he's an annoying dickhead.
Why is he Mexican?
Ay, no, Mexican.
No me gusta.
Oh
Ay, ay,
my
ay.
God. He doesn't say me gusta. Oh my God.
No, I know, but he just sounded Mexican to me.
Fuck's sake. Anyway, the Zordon is kind of dead, but not really.
He's sleepy.
And because Zordon's base is destroyed, the Rangers lose their powers, and they're like, oh, fuck. We lost our fucking powers. What are we going to do? So they return to the command center. They find it destroyed, and Zordon being outside his time portal, aging and slowly dying. Doesn't look like Phil Mitchell now. It just looks like a really old man. Just dying pretty much at this point. There you go. So this is where the film kind of falls. No, it doesn't fall apart yet, but it falls apart after the next bit, I would say. And I agree the second half of this film is not as great as the first, maybe. I don't know.
Which says a lot, I think.
Yeah, pretty much. Zordon sends the Rangers to a distant planet called, and I forgot the name of it. Does anyone remember the planet name?
Hoth?
Phaedos?
Oh, no, because I had written, where did Xena come from? And I was like, different planet. Missed how they got there.
So Phaedos, I think it's called. They have to go to this other planet to get their powers back and save Zordon, essentially, is what the plot line here is. By the way, I missed an important detail because it comes back later. There's going to be a comet in the sky in a few days. That's all you need to know.
Is there?
I totally missed that in the beginning.
I missed that too.
Everyone does. Like, they meant a bit of Fred, the little kid to his dad, goes, oh yeah, I can't wait to see the comet in 2 days' time or something. Everyone misses it. Like, everyone just, why is there a comet suddenly at the end? But anyway.
Yeah.
I missed it at the end too.
You missed it at the end?
I was so bored by then.
So Ivan takes over, trapping Rita and Zed into a snow globe and giving them chipmunk voices for some fucking reason. I guess because they're small.
Because they're small.
Yeah, I guess
you
so.
shrink someone, their voices get higher. It's like a known fact.
I guess so. And
science.
Except in Ant-Man.
His plan, now that he's in charge is strange. So he's going to create some of his goo, and he's going to give the goo for free of charge to lots of kids. His goo, his creamy, sticky goo, to a bunch of kids, and then they're going to somehow have all the parents touch the goo and then brainwash them.
Why wouldn't you just give it to the parent? Like, why don't you?
Because kids, they can be manipulated.
Because parents
but
won't
you could just
take goo, whereas the kids would take it for free.
Exactly.
But did it have to be goo? Couldn't he have just where did the goo come from? Couldn't he have just made some money and just given it to parents?
You just said
he's
it.
made
You
of
said
ooze.
it beforehand.
He's trying to get the parents under control.
True.
He is an ooze man. Hence why he needs that gushy goo.
And also, the point you just made, Penny, why was goo so popular in the 90s? That's why, because every kid wanted goo. So if you're getting free goo, you're fucking, you're
Your quid's in,
It's
mate.
not even aliens in his goo. It's no good. I did like his bird minions though.
Oh, they're fucking horrible.
They were fun.
They're stupid.
He had the bird minions. They were great.
They weren't great.
I was totally on Ivan's side at this point. I'm not going to lie.
Fine. Either way. So yeah, his plan is to bring ooze to the kids, and then the kids will, all the parents apparently will touch the goo at some point, because that's
Fred's
what happens.
dad just does it on his own, doesn't he? He's like, watch this, and then he just sticks his finger
What's
in
this?
the ooze.
Sticks his hand in. Okay.
The thing is, if you see a pot of goo, you're sticking your finger in it to see if it farts.
Yeah,
That's
you
the
are.
problem, isn't it?
I think that was his main reason, right? Surely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's going to use the parents that are now brainwashed and get them to dig out his old mechanical robot that died or fell over 6,000 years ago. Remember when that was a thing? So he's going to get the parents to dig it out of the ground. That's all he's using them for now. Meanwhile, the Power Rangers go to Jurassic Park, essentially, because the music felt like it, and the scenes of it with the dinosaurs, it felt like Jurassic Park, literally.
Yeah.
They even said it.
Did they?
They said, welcome to Jurassic Park. And one of them's like, ha ha, very funny. And
Yeah.
then some dinosaurs show up.
Jesus. So they end up going to this planet, and they are almost attacked by Ivan's crow things.
It's bird minions.
Bird minions while they're there, but they were rescued by Dulcia?
Xena.
Can't pronounce her name right.
Dulcia.
Who is the master warrior of the planet.
Xena.
She's wearing nothing but a bikini line. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, when things like, I get it that in some kids' films, like old ones, some of the costumes are revealing. Like, that's just age with time. Hers is really revealing. Like, really revealing, don't you think?
Yeah, there's not a lot of it.
There's not a lot.
I agree.
Pretty much, but Andy was completely fine with it. That's what he told me.
Don't know what you're talking about.
So, how is she not cold, by the way? I don't know, because it looked windy. I mentioned this beforehand.
She probably was.
There was a lot of waves.
The 90s, they didn't care.
Things could be a bit nippy out there for her.
Well, it was filmed in Australia, so I imagine she was all right.
Ah.
All right, break the fucking fourth wall, why don't you? It's fucking Power Rangers, asshole. Anyway, she's about to attack them, and then they mention Zordon. She's like, Zordon? You never mentioned Zordon.
Love that guy.
I love that guy. He's a big fan. Phil Mitchell.
He bought me a beer once.
He bought me a beer once. He's kind of wrinkly, like Phil in a shower or bath. And she goes to teach them about the animal spirits. And shut up, okay? Stop it. We're going to get through this, okay? We have to get through this now.
Now, they're animals, not dinosaurs.
Well, she tells them they both have spirits within them that they can use, and therefore, when they have these spirits, they will become the Power Rangers again. So she tells each
And
one
they
of
all
them...
sound really cool, except one of you.
She tells each one of them what animal spirit they are. So Aisha is the bear, Rocky is the ape, Billy is the wolf, Kimberly is the crane, Tommy is the falcon, and Adam's the frog.
Gutted.
But
I'm a frog.
The frog...
He can't play the piano.
The problem I
Not
have
with
with
frog
this...
hands.
Remember when she goes to each of them and she goes, oh, the very strong falcon,
Yeah.
or it's like the crane. And then she goes to Adam and says... And he's disappointed that he's the frog, and she just gives him a kiss and goes, but like all prince, like she doesn't say anything good, like strong or anything, just a handsome prince.
She's like frogs, like the ones you kiss. Is she telling him he's going to get loads of chicks kissing him because he's a frog?
That's a superpower, apparently.
I don't know.
He's just handsome.
She also says, close your eyes and look deep inside to find your animal.
Imagine finding a frog.
So he must have been thinking about a frog.
What would your animal be?
Oh, mate. I've got two options. I've written this down. I'd either be a sloth or a lazy cat, one that just sits in the sun and does fuck all.
Yep.
Sure.
I can see it.
Anyway, so
I think I'd be like a pygmy hippo because I love them, but then they're not. I feel like they're happier than
They're
I
not
am.
helpful, are they? Well, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, well, neither am I. I mean, I help Dan with this all the time. Look at all these tangents I'm on. He's loving it.
It doesn't help me, though. I've got to edit them out.
yeah, I'm just worried about the editor. I don't care. I think we can go on for 3 hours if you want to talk about Power Rangers. I'm absolutely fine with this.
Dan, what's your spirit animal going to be?
The lemon.
A lemon?
Not an animal.
That's not an animal. It's a fruit.
Try again.
I don't know. Fucking hell. The field mice.
Why?
All of them.
Because
he's quite sleepy.
yeah.
Yeah.
You just imagine Dan curled up in a
nocturnal.
flower asleep.
Sleeps during the day, up at night.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm more like an owl, to be honest. But she was already an owl. Thinking Dulce.
Zena's an
whatever her
owl.
name is. She turns
Why are
into
you
a
like an
fucking
owl?
Because I don't sleep. I'm awake on it.
And his head goes all the way around.
And my head goes over, and it's a giant head.
And he eats mice.
Big fucking eyes.
Yeah, big fucking. Well, thank you. I should talk about Power Rangers more often. Fucking hell. So.
You're Kimberly in this, Dan. And he's Tommy.
Stop.
Sorry.
I bloody love
Everyone
Kimberly
wants a bit of Kimberly.
so much. I love her so much. Oh my god. I had such a huge crush on her. Anyway, still do. Anyway. They get their powers because they believe they're the animals and they get nice little symbols on them, but they have to go to this temple where there's some stony gargoyle guardians and get the great power inside, which will give them the power to become the Power Rangers again. And they do some flippy shit. They do a lot of stuff on wires. Everything is very wire. Like, there's so many jumps that go on for so long. Tommy jumps at one point and then does a corkscrew kick mid-air. He corkscrews, but not before. Like, it's just so stupid.
At one point, Billy does, like, I think he gets, like, a grappling hook or something, and he throws it somewhere and he, like, pulls himself up, but it's like he's in panto.
Oh, that was
like,
early on.
The wire that he is going along, and he's flying like Peter Pan.
So much wires, honestly.
I think Tommy went on to be a stuntman. Like, I think he still does it now. But the rest of them, like, he did all of his own stunts. The rest of them were fucking dreadful.
I've seen Tommy in real life, in person.
When they were fighting without their masks on, they were shit.
Is that because it wasn't them with the mask?
The end?
It's stunt people.
I just assumed that they were gymnasts and not fucking...
They were ninjas.
With no martial arts stuff.
Tommy does conventions all the time now. He's fun.
Yeah, but he's also got a martial arts background.
Anyway.
Can we just talk about why Xena won't go and help them? Because that was one of my favourite bits.
What was... I don't remember the reason.
They're like, are you going to come with us? And she's like, I can't, because if I leave this planet, I'll age. And I don't want to age because I look great. So see you later.
I look fucking amazing.
She was like, if I take 2 steps off of this plane or of this plateau, I will start to age like Zordon and it'll be disgusting. And I just don't want that. See you later.
Nobody wants a wrinkly old woman in a bikini.
Exactly.
Fuck that.
She has a fair point.
Yeah.
I know the film's not great, but I love the lore and explaining shit in this film so much. It's just so silly.
What do you mean? Nothing gets explained.
Yeah, but that's the fucking best bit of it. It's just like all these weird things where, like, yeah, if you embrace the power of the animal, you'll get your powers back. It's like, no, that's not how it works, but apparently so.
They just need to plug Zordon back in.
Get an extension cable.
Yeah.
They're going to get the great power back by defeating the gargoyles, which they do, and a bright shiny light like the Pulp Fiction comes out with a gold light where you don't really see anything. You just see their faces go, what? Like an anime. And they've got their powers back because they change into their suits. So they're the Power Rangers again. Now they can leave that fucking holiday trip where they went to the remote island to get their powers back. Yeah, that's done. Now they can go back to the planet. It's a shitty detour, and I accept that it's a shitty detour. Yes.
I've got a question here, right?
Yeah.
They spend, what, half an hour on this planet embracing their animals, and then they come back and they're fucking dinosaurs again?
Yeah.
Like they've got dinosaur suits? What's that about?
But that's their robot. That's their Megazord.
When did they turn into
stuff?
When did they turn into ninja Power Rangers? Because they were ninjas.
When they lost their powers, because when they were on the island, because they had their robes and stuff, and they were training.
So then they went from ninjas
spirit.
back to animals and then to dinosaurs again.
Yes, they go back into dinosaurs. Yes,
but
yes.
like
Anyway.
what they had to change was just the helmet. They could have quite easily done
I need
that.
to get off this bit. Jeez, I've been on this bit for like 20 minutes. All right. So back on Earth, Ivan has got his giant bug ant robot.
It's like a praying mantis, isn't it?
Praying mantis.
Do you know what? It might actually be an ant.
It looked like
I just like to point out that I feel like we're at the point where I checked out. I've written kids have a better attention
That's
span
fine.
than me
This is-
because under
this
an
is the
hour
worst bit.
I am bored.
This is the worst bit of the film. I hate the ending to this. I hate the last 30 minutes of this whole film. Anyway, so he gets this Ant-Man robot thing and unleashes it on Angel Grove, ordering the parents at this point, because they're now useless, to commit suicide. Penny's laughing
That's not
for the
funny.
record.
It's not funny,
Yeah.
but the fact that he was like, I'm done with you guys, go off yourselves. I'm like,
Go off now.
This is a kids' movie.
Just go die.
Unnecessary. And considering they've never used the word kill in Power Rangers, and he's like,
Yeah.
go kill yourselves. It's fucking shady.
Like, I'm assuming they didn't remember what had happened. He could have been like, okay, well, you won't remember now. Carry on with your lives. Like, he didn't
don't need
need
you anymore.
them to kill themselves. He didn't need to turn them into lemmings.
So during this time, Fred realizes, small little kid, he realizes his dad is acting weird because he just left him out of the house after he touched some goo.
Because he was playing
And
with
then-
the ooze.
Yeah, he's like, oh my God, my dad touched the ooze. That must be it. So he recruits Bulk Skull and the other kids to head to construction site to save their parents. The Rangers return with their new animal-themed Ninja Zords. And after a difficult struggle, they end up destroying one of Ivan's robot, Scorpion. It says Scorpitron. Scorpitron is what it's called. I'm not
what?
kidding. Scorpitron.
Scorpitron.
Scorpitron. Is that it?
There we go, Scorpitron.
That's terrible.
I don't remember, but that sounds better than Scorpitron.
It was the scorpion, wasn't it?
Yeah, so Scorpitron.
Scorpion, yes, of course.
Makes sense.
Ivan takes control of so this bit I have to explain. So Ivan can morph into things because he's made a goo. So he decides that the best practice to defeat the Power Rangers is to morph himself into the robot by doing his long, possibly penis face by morphing
that's
into
CGI.
into his goo into the it's fucking weird, and it's just weird either way. He morphs into a robot and then his CGI PlayStation 1 face decides to battle.
God, it's so shit. The CGI is so shit.
It's so bad. It's so bad.
So then this is the bit with his big robot and their big robot, right? I don't know.
They fight each other in the streets, and they end up fighting each other. Meanwhile, the kids are trying to push the parents back, but Fred has an idea. He gets Skull and Bulk to turn on the water so that they can turn on the big water hose and push the kids back with the water hose, and therefore push the parents back.
I thought he was trying to
So they
wash
don't
the ooze off of them. I was like, what's he doing with that hose? Is that going to stop them all? No.
Well, if they open their mouths, maybe they can flush it out of them if they have to piss. How long does it stay in their body? Like,
I don't know. I assume semi-permanently.
Yeah.
But also, putting on a hose isn't going to stop them from falling off the cliff. Also,
No.
there wasn't a particularly large cliff because it was in a construction site. It was maybe 3 meters.
quarry.
So you'd fuck your legs, but you wouldn't die.
Yeah.
If Fred's dad just fingered the ooze, how did it get in him?
I mean, he didn't finger the ooze, did he?
He
Let's be
stuck his
honest.
fingers in the ooze. So how did it get inside?
Yeah.
Electrical currents.
So how are we flushing that out with hoses?
No,
Sorry?
we're not. That's what Andy thought, was that when they used the water, he thought they were trying to wash the ooze off them, which is not the case. They were trying to push back the parents from falling off.
Which is even stupider, to be honest.
Yeah.
Either way.
Because he's
I did
actually...
feel a little bit bad for Fred having to do all this shit on his own.
He's not shooting the parents back. What he's doing is he's shooting the kids who are trying to help him in the back of the head.
Yeah, but they're moving forward more.
Fucking Fred. He's a prick as well, isn't he?
The thing is, the kids are going to have really sore backs in the morning. Fucking bruising on the backs. If that's a powerful fucking like hose with water, that's going to hurt.
And it's all Fred's fault.
It's all Fred's fault. He beats up kids. Anyway, so the Rangers lead Ivan into space.
Oh yeah, now they're in space.
Now this is where the other thing comes in because of Ryan's comet, which is about to come around, because at the start of the film we got told that the Ryan comet's going to be whatever. So they end up tangling with him. One of my favorite bits again is the way they get him off them, aka the robot, the Megazord and stuff. One of them says desperate times calls for desperate measures, opens up like the emergency button, presses it, and all it does is kick the robot in the robot balls, and that makes it spin away.
It's fucking stupid, man.
It's so silly. I know. I admit it's silly. I know. It's terrible. I fucking hate it.
It is for children.
Yeah, but still, as a child, I hate it. So, either way. So because of this, it breaks the spell on the parents. They are reunited with their kids straight away, and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing in the quarry?
I love you, Dad.
I love you, son. Stop touching my goo, Dad. It was for me.
Stop fingering my goo."
Or stop bringing home goo from strangers, Fred.
There's even like a commercial way beforehand where like Ivan Ooze is like, "Let's get sticky."
Yeah.
Like, don't say that with your goo. That's just wrong. Come on. So the parents are reunited with the kids. The Rangers then return to the command center, but they're distraught when they find Zordon has died. No! They then try to figure out that if they use the great power comes great responsibility quote from Uncle Ben, they will restore the command center and resurrect Zordon.
They Care Bear him back to life.
They do Care Bear him.
They all hold hands, and then the things come out of their tummies, and they Care Bear him back to life.
Yeah, well, the Power Rangers did it first.
Somehow their Care Bear power
No, they didn't.
is able to fix structural damage to the foundations of the building.
It rewinds
and
time.
Rewire all the cables and the electrical issues.
Wow, that's
Are we saying they
smart.
rewind time so he stays alive, but he's going to die soon because all they've done is rewind time? Or are they actually fixing...
I assume they fixed it.
No, because when he gets plugged back in, he's alive again. He just needs to plug him back in. That's why they have to fix all the plugs.
They fixed it. So essentially, once they get to the age of, like, I don't know, 30, and they're not allowed to be Power Rangers anymore.
Are they not?
They could become electricians and they'll be all right.
So
Wait. Are Power Rangers only teenagers? Is that real?
Well, you never seen a 50-year-old Power Ranger come in and go...
You don't see Doris coming
Tyrannosaurus!
tottering around.
Oh, fuck.
I'm just thinking, if they were maybe 25, then what's his name? Ivan wouldn't be able to smell them because they wouldn't be teenagers.
That's
and it
true.
might be more helpful.
What does a Power Ranger smell
Don't
of?
ask.
No, you don't want to know. You don't want to know. It's just a quote. Don't read it too much.
Is it like PVC and sweat?
You wish.
The thing is, you need to not read too much into this because, again, it's 95 and it's a kid's film. So you got two things working against you here. So it's not going to be...
Good?
Suspend your disbelief.
It's not going to be good.
Yeah, exactly. It's enjoyable. Anyway, they Care Bear him, yes, and rewind time or whatever, and everything is back to normal. Zordon is alive. They have a celebration at the harbor with the fireworks. Fred says to Tommy, "Maybe I can be a Power Ranger one day." Guess what? He ends up being a Power Ranger one day.
Is he the gold Power Ranger?
He is the gold Power Ranger in a different series that happens later on. I don't know if it's a actual real life actor who ends up just getting older and they cast him again, but either way, yeah, he does. They see a message in the sky saying, "Thank you, Power Rangers," which offends Bulk and Skull, despite the fact they just played a major part in saving lives.
Yep.
And there's a mid-credit scene where...
Is there?
Yes, there is. Where the two minions, Gordar and Mordant, which is the two minions, they're on Zed's throne.
Is that the pig guy and the other dude?
That guy's fucking creepy. I'd forgotten how fucking sinister he is.
Yeah, they're sitting on Zed's throne, but then Rita and Zed appear again, and they're just like, "Oh, okay."
How did they get out of their snow globe?
I don't know. I guess it destroyed when Ivan died. I don't know. Plot holes everywhere. And that's...
Uh-oh, we're in trouble. That was also...
There's a lot of music. And that is 1995 Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Penny, what did you think of it?
I'm sure it was fine if you were a 9-year-old boy at some point.
21.
It wasn't as terrible as I thought it was going to be, but I was bored. I feel like it's probably a very... Maybe not now. But yeah, it's a solid kids film. I can see why kids in 1995 liked it. It can have a 5.
Wow. I'm surprised.
I didn't hate it. I was just bored. It didn't hold my interest. It was kind of cool seeing them, dinosaurs and stuff fight. I'm not interested in robots fighting. I did send you a couple of messages, a little bit like Andy, I'm not a 9-year-old child. Why are we watching this? I don't want to waste my time watching it. But I can see why it was fun back in the day. The CGI was terrible, but the CGI was... I was going to say it was bad back then, but it wasn't because Casper was great. But it was exactly as I thought it was going to be. I was expecting Like, it wasn't like Birdemic bad. Like, the CGI was bad, the acting was bad, but it didn't feel as bad as like a Birdemic or something. Like, it was absolutely fine.
Cool.
5.
Okay. Andy?
I'm sure I tried to watch this when I was maybe 6 or 7 and thought it was dreadful. And that has not changed. That opinion has remained. I've got a lot of like issues with the plot holes and stuff. It does look shit. The acting is a bit ropey. Tommy's good, as we've said.
I do like when he's got his hair all out at the end. He's got fabulous hair.
He's fancy, isn't he?
Maybe I'll actually go and say hi next time I see him at a con.
Visually, it's a bit crap. The CGI is wank. But I'll forgive all of that because it was the 90s. But the main thing that you think about with Power Rangers is the fucking Megazords fighting. But
Are they the dinosaurs? No, that's when they're all stuck together, right?
that's when they're all stuck together. They spend the whole time fucking hyping up this film to that point, and then it happens for 30 seconds, and then it's a swift kick to the bollocks, and it's done. And it is a waste of time.
It's a problem with a lot of Power Rangers movies, unfortunately.
How many have you seen?
I'm not going to lie. I actually missed how they defeated him because I was on my phone.
I'm just going on the recent one. It was a similar thing with the recent one. They spent all that time building up, and then the fight itself was like, eh. So, yeah.
Because there used to be like a large part of the series. Like every episode in the series, there would be like a 10-minute fight where they're thrown across cardboard buildings and shit.
Explosions everywhere.
Yeah. And it's clearly like people in cardboard boxes, but that gives it an extra bit of like joy. That's what I was waiting for. And then it was wanky CGI that you could do.
It's Hollywood.
You could do it on a Game Boy Advance and it would look better. That might be an exaggeration. Actually, if it was 8-bit, I would have preferred that. That would have been more fun.
Oh, yeah.
But it kind of ruined it. The plot was a bit shit. Yeah, wank. I'm going to give it a generous 4.
I'm okay with 5s or average. I think that's what I'm aiming for here. So I'm okay
Well,
with
I've gone below 5 because it was boring as fuck. But I will give it, it's not as bad as fucking...
Kids don't have that long an attention span, so
Well, it's no wonder I turned it off halfway through, because fuck all happens at midway point, so...
Yeah, I was so bored.
All right, you two are just so negative. It's a kids' film. Yeah, of course it is. That was what it said on the label. That's why I picked it. And that's why it's a 90s kids' film. Has not aged well at all.
I might make you watch a Care Bear movie.
No.
Andy might kill himself.
But anyway, I haven't seen this since late 90s, I think. I probably rewatched it a couple of times, but I probably haven't seen this film since the late 90s. Yes, it's obviously changed in my views on what I think it is. Back then, it was the greatest film I've ever seen in my life. But I still am a massive Power Rangers fan, I would say. I've seen the recent ones. I'm a bit of a fanboy when it comes to it. I'm not a huge fan that I dress up like a fucking Power Ranger or anything like that. So if anyone fucking calls me out, shut the fuck up.
He does.
Only on weekends. So it's entirely understandable. This is not a film for all of us. However, as a kids' film, I think this is still enjoyable. I think this is still fun. I think it's a lot better than some of the kids' film, especially because there's a lot of action in it. I think it's a really good kids' film for people who wanted action in their films. There is a bit of boringness with the whole going to the planet bollocks, and then the CGI thing at the end is underwhelming. And you could say that they didn't really need to make a movie. This is just a longer version of the TV show that's drawn out way too long. That's also true. But you know what? It's all right. It's kind of watchable in a funny way.
Yeah, it was fun.
In a funny, this hasn't aged well way, but also it's kind of all right to watch. So I'm going to give it a 6.
You are fucking mental.
No, I'm not. I think it's actually...
He's got those nostalgia points though, hasn't he?
That's all it is, yeah.
6 is not bad. It's awful, obviously, but it's, as a 90s kids film, that's two things working against me here. It's okay. So I think it's done all right.
Yeah, I'm with you. I get why kids liked it in the 90s. Fine.
There's loads of better 90s kid films than this.
Yeah, but that's because you never fucking watched the Power Rangers, did you, back in the day?
Yes, I watched the Power Rangers all the fucking time. I had the toys, I played the games.
All right.
That's why I think this is wank, because the series was much better.
Yeah, it was.
It holds up a lot better.
I agree, but it's an okay film. I don't think it's amazing. I just think it's okay, so it's 6. What's wrong with a 6? Do I have to go lower?
No, it's your score. I'm just saying, you're wrong.
My mum asked me how it was. I went, I can't believe I'm going to give it a 5.
There you go.
But that's why I did.
Anyway, so film out of the hat. We as I said at the start, we are taking a 2-week break after the next episode. So in 3 weeks' time, we will be watching said film. I wonder what it's going to be. Here we go. It's a Dan film.
Oh, Christ.
You know what? I'm either going to get a loud yes out of Andy right now. I don't know about Penny, but I'm either going to get like a celebration out of Andy when I say this film, or he's going to just leave. And I don't know which one it is. So here we go.
Let me just prepare my chair just in case.
I don't.
Your special podcast chair.
I'm sure you both have seen this film, but like it depends how you look at it. But either way, the film out of the hat for next time in 3 weeks' time is XXX. The 2002 film starring Vin Diesel.
Why would you think I've seen this? What?
Have you not seen it?
No, why would I see this shit?
She's been looking for other XXX films and just come across this one instead.
Have you seen it, Andy?
Yeah, of course I have.
How do you feel about it?
You've got no.
Do you know what? Over the last couple of years, I've really gone off Vin Diesel. I think he's a massive fucking bellend. But I did watch this within the last 3 years and was like, it's fine. It's better than the newer one, for sure. There will be some questionable moments in this, though, that we are going to have some conversations
there's going to
about.
be very questionable. Yeah, there's a lot of goofs and gaffs and weird. Anyway, XXX, it's the first XXX. There's a couple of them, as Andy mentioned. An extreme sports athlete, Xander Cage, is recruited by the government on a special mission. Don't think there's anyone else noteworthy. Yeah, it's Vin Diesel film. Most people remember this kind of film.
I have no idea what this is about.
Don't look it up.
Is it cars? Is
watch
it fighting? Pure. Is it? Give me a.
Don't look at anything. Just watch it.
Don't look at anything. Just watch it. It's going to be one of those films. I would say it's not bad. It's just, as Andy put it, it's like, it's okay. But the thing that makes it special is how they do certain things in the film.
Yeah, I might watch it twice.
Yeah, I might too.
Once to enjoy it and once to break it down and never watch it again.
Yeah, pretty much. So we'll be watching that in 3 weeks' time. Penny.
Hi.
What's our social?
You can find us on Instagram and Facebook at Unusual Suspects Pod and on Twitter at Unusual Podspect. I'm at Penny_photopit.
At Sticky Ooze. At Dental Thought.
At Joyce is 21. I was doing a yawn then.
God, even he's fucking bored of this podcast. Wow. Even the fucking people who host it can't even fucking keep it together. We'll be back next week. We have a break after that. We may have something next week. I don't know.
I bet it's not a fun time.
Hey!
I bet no one turns up. And we'll see you for episode 40. We hit our 40s next week. So that's going to be fun.
Penny's already nearly at her 40s.
She's already there.
Fucking
She's
love that
fucking
song.
singing
Fuck
while I'm trying to
you.
fucking do the outro like an old person would. Jesus Christ. Anyway, thanks very much for listening. We'll see you next time.
Thanks,
Bye.
everyone.
Bye.
Hope you didn't watch Power Rangers. Bye.
It's morphin time. Oh, I'm a dinosaur. So shit.
Shut up.